the Bible with you. I was reading through the book of John and I came across something that actually resonated with my spirit, which is in the book of John chapter 5. Okay, but I'll just summarize the story here. The story is about the man, the blind man, at the pool where Jesus and his disciple were passing, and his disciple asked Jesus, who sinned? Was it the man's parent or the parents or the man himself? Because why was he blind from birth? Because this man was actually blind from birth. And Jesus said unto them that no one, that is the reason for his sickness or the reason for his blindness is just for the name of the Lord to be glorified. Okay, but I'll be studying the part where Jesus healed him. Okay, and something resonated deeply with me there, but I'll be reading I'll start my reading from verse 5. And so John chapter 5 verse 5, and a certain man was there which had infirmity 30 and 8 years. And Jesus saw him lie and went to him and saw him and knew that he had been there for a long time. He had been now a long time in that case. He said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? And the impotent man answered him, said, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I'm coming, another stepped down before me. So we all know that story. The story is of the pool where the angel come. It is known that an angel comes to stir the water, and the water is known for healing. Whosoever steps into the water firstly will be healed. So this man is blind, and of course, before he will be able to get into the water, someone else has gotten there, and then the person has claimed the healing for that particular time. So what I want to point out from here is that Jesus was not ignorant of his sickness. First of all, when Jesus saw him, he knew immediately that he has been in that situation for a very long time. And then the first question that Jesus asked him was, will thou be made whole? Do you think you can be healed? And I want us to learn something from the man's faith. The man knew he would be made whole. He knows that he can be healed, but with which way he is to be healed is what he doesn't know. If I ask you now, do you know Christ can bless you? Do you know God can bless you? That thing that you have been asking God for, God can do it. Yes, we all have the faith that God can do it, but how will God do it for me? Will God do it now? How will it happen? It's what we don't know. Okay, which is why we need to hold firm. The Bible said in the book of Hebrews, it said, hold fast the profession of your faith. But before we get there, I want us to listen to the response of Jesus to him. And Jesus said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath day. So the day Jesus made him whole was on the Sabbath day. Jesus told him to take up his bed. Before his healing come, I want us to learn something from there. Before the healing, before he was made whole, there was an instruction. Jesus said to him, take up your bed and walk. That was the instruction that Christ gave to him. Okay, and he obeyed, he walked, and they said immediately he was made whole. That means if he had not walked, if he had not taken up his bed, him himself would not have noticed that he has been made whole. I don't know if you guys got that. Immediately Christ gave that instruction, his miracle had already happened. His body had already formed. But if he had not stand up and walked, if he had just chosen to lie there, he would not have realized that his eyes had been opened. Okay, so he took up his bed and he walked. And then one thing I want us to note there again is that it was on a Sabbath day, and in the Jewish tradition, you're not supposed to work on a Sabbath day. You're to just rest. The Sabbath day is a day for you to just rest. While you've worked for 6 days, on the seventh day you're just supposed to rest. Okay, but it was on this same day that Jesus made him whole, which was illegal in their tradition. And I want us to listen to what the Pharisees asked him. Okay, and the Jews rather. It said, and the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, it is the Sabbath day, it is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. What am I going to point out from there is that when God give you an instruction, there are people that are going to challenge it. Not because they are the devil, not because they are against you, not because they are against your miracle, but it's just the way the system has been placed to work. It's just the way this world has been made to work. If the Lord give an instruction, there are always things that are going to challenge you, knowingly or unknowingly. Either you are being challenged by your thoughts. There are things that are constantly fighting the manifestation of the word of God. There are things that are constantly against the promise of God. So if God gave you a word, there's always something that's going to fight it. Okay? And how do you scale through? How do you hold firm? How do you keep your faith alive? Is by prophesying. Is by holding fast. Holding fast, that means prophesying what Christ said to you. Choosing to believe that it is only the word of the Lord you will believe against every other one that is coming. It is only the word of the Lord. It's only the thought of the Lord that you choose to believe and that you choose to prophesy. Not just believing in your head. You need to prophesy. You need to confess it every day. Okay, so I will read the last part, that's the last verse of this our discussion for today. Is the man's answer, verse 11. And he answered and said unto them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up my bed and walk. And then they asked him, What is the man that which said unto you, so to take up thy bed and walk? What am I trying to say? There's always something that will pouch. Okay, there's always something that is there to perforate, to suffocate the word of the Lord for your life. You could have entered this year with a lot of promises from God, a lot of word from God, but there's always something. As long as you are in this world, there's always something that would suffocate that word. If you don't, they would always choke it. In the parable of Jesus that was telling us about the seed, he says some fell on a fertile ground, some fell along the wayside, some fell on on the rock. But when they fell on the rock, they were suffocated, they couldn't grow. So what am I trying to say is that when you receive, especially when you receive a word from God, pay attention to that word, because there's always something that's going to suffocate life out of the word. And if you do not guide this word jealously, you are going to lose your miracle. And how do you guide this word jealously? Is by daily confessing. Whatever Christ has said to you, you confess it. It is from confession that it is going to become belief, and that is going to become a miracle. Whatever you don't confess every day, you most likely are going to forget. The life is going to choke the seed, the word of this, the word in your life, in your heart. Okay, daily activities is going to choke it out, and eventually the seed, you know what's a seed? The seed is going to die.